Hey guys, this is Amber Mellon, salon owner of Vanity and Bello, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I just want to give a big shout out to all my subscribers and the ones who have just recently subscribed to my channel. Welcome to my channel, and thank you so much for subscribing. And I just love all the positive comments and all the positive feedback that you guys are leaving me. It is so appreciated and just encourages me greatly, so I just definitely want to thank you for that. And I also want to say a big thank you to people who have been subscribed with me for a little bit now here, and I just want to say hey and thank you so much for your support. So if you are new to my channel, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload from me, and subscribe. And yeah, for those who are not new, thanks for watching. So today's video, I just wanted to talk about diversity, being a diverse hairstylist. I would consider myself a diverse hairstylist just because that I don't have like one set type of clientele or one specific thing that I do. I have always wanted to be a diverse hairstylist. I have always wanted to be that hairstylist that is not afraid of textures, different hair textures than mine, you know, different thicknesses, or curly hair, or wavy hair, or coarse kinky hair, or really straight silky hair. I just always wanted to be that diverse hairstylist, that go-to stylist that is able to do any kind of hair. And being a diverse hairstylist has really helped me in my hair career thus far. So this video is just encourage you guys to step out of the box, to step out of your comfort zone, and yeah, to just try you know, different things, you know, as a hairstylist. So the one thing I can say, which is really funny, this video is just, I'm just gonna lay it out there because, you know, people think these things, so I'm just gonna just say what people are thinking in a very cool, respectful way. So being that I am a black hairstylist, a lot of people, when they see black hairstylists, they automatically think hair extensions, okay? And so it's so funny because I am the last person that you will want to come to for hair extensions. I am not good at sew-ins. I am not good at braiding. I am not good at braids. I absolutely hate doing hair extensions, and I used to do them, and I would just hate it so much. Like when someone would call me, like, I love the fact that you can charge a lot for hair extensions. I love the fact that you can make anywhere from, like, you know, a good $75 to $200, you know, for a head of hair extensions. I love that part of it, but I absolutely hate doing it. So just me as a hairstylist, just I love to be happy. I love to like just enjoy what I'm doing, and definitely doing hair extensions was not something that I enjoyed. And you know, I wasn't the best at it either, and so I would hate when like someone would come back and be like, oh Amber, you know, this is a little loose, or could you do this a little tighter, or you know, this is a little bumpy. I was just like, oh my gosh, please leave me alone. So you know what, I just told myself, I was like, you know what, Amber, I know that you want to do hair extensions. I know that, you know, you can make good money with hair extensions, but that's just not what you like to do, so don't do it. So yes, I do not do hair extensions in my salon. I don't do braids. I don't do any of that. And I just think that's like a stereotype for if you're a black hairstylist, especially a female black hairstylist, that you automatically do hair extensions. So and I'm not saying that you shouldn't do hair extensions. I'm not, because I love hair extensions. You know, I wear extensions myself. I wear wigs. I admire people who know how to do a head full of extensions and make it look so natural and make everything look flat and blended. Like, I just love and appreciate you guys so much, because what would our hair look like without you, right? We would be wearing the big natural hair. So I'm not coming down on it. I'm just saying that, you know, not every black hairstylist, you know, does hair extensions. And if you do hair extensions, don't limit yourself to that, okay? Because there's a lot of other hair services that you can charge just the same amount, if not more, as hair extensions that take less time. So I would just, and the same thing for, you know, Caucasian hairstylists. You know, when you go to a Caucasian hairstylist, you're like, well, she can't blow out my hair. And, you know, I have seen some Caucasian hairstylists, my coworkers blow out some hair and get it nice and flat and get it nice and straight. So yeah, I just really encourage you as a hairstylist to just not be afraid of a hair texture that is different from yours. A lot of my Caucasian hairstylists, Caucasian clients, when they come to me and they see the reviews, they're like, they're amazed that I know how to do their hair just as much as the next person who has the same type of hair as them. Okay, so even in hair school, I did not get a lot of black clientele. Black clients. I always, and it's not something that I chose, it's just something that came to me, and I was never gonna like shy away from it or back down from it, because I feel like if you limit yourself to one type of hair, then you limit the amount of money you can make, you limit your experience, you limit your skills. And so I just think this is a really big thing that just needs to be talked about. If you are a Caucasian hairstylist, don't be afraid of kinky hair. Don't be afraid of curls. Don't be afraid of curly hair. Don't be afraid of taking it from one state to another state. Just learn. Anybody can learn, because I promise you, hair school is not the end all. Hair school definitely does not teach you everything. As a matter of fact, when you get out of hair school, you just know just the very basics to actually start and mess up, okay? So don't be afraid of making mistakes. I know when I went to hair school, the two things that I definitely wanted to be good at was doing color and hair cutting. Like, I just wanted to be the best person, that go-to girl for like the bomb best haircut ever. And what inspired me is my hairstylist who used to do my hair as a teenager. She was just like amazing at cutting hair. Like, oh my gosh, I would just sit and watch her and just be so fascinated, and just like, oh my gosh, how does she know like where to cut and how much to cut, and how much to leave on and all that stuff. So I would just be like so fascinated by her, and that's also too what inspired me to want to cut hair, which leads me into my next topic. Don't be afraid to cut hair and make a mistake. You have to start somewhere. Everyone has their beginning, everyone has their starting point, and I think a lot of people just want to be perfect right off the bat because they're afraid of what they might look like in front of other hairstylists. In this hair industry, it's a lot of judgment. It's a lot of like pointing the finger at people, being rude, being mean, laughing at people, talking about how they messed up so bad, talking about behind their back, and that stuff is just not cool. And it's really intimidating when there's a new hairstylist out that wants to do really good, that wants to learn, and then you just have a bunch of maybe more seasoned stylists around them that are just always pointing the finger, that are just always judging, that are just always talking about themselves and how they're the best. Okay, I would really love for this type of thing to change in the hair industry, and I really would just like more compassion, more understanding, more willing to teach without making yourself look good or making yourself sound like a know-it-all when it comes to like someone that's starting out. And if you're starting out, don't think just because you got out of hair school that you know everything, because you absolutely don't. When I got out of hair school, I was like, oh my gosh, I just really learned the basics. Like, you learn the rules, and then in order to get good at it, you really, really have to practice, a lot of practice, okay? So, before I started doing men's cuts, when my first job, or my second job, it was mostly men, and in hair school, you don't learn how to cut men's hair, so I could just remember like my first fade, military fade. Oh my gosh. I was like sweating. My armpits were itching. Like, I had to use the bathroom. I wanted to throw up like all at the same time, okay? But I'm one of those people, like, I'd rather ask for help than pretend that I know something that I really don't. And I'd rather that client see me just be honest with them and go out of my way to make sure I ask for help and that their hair looks good, rather than pretend like I know it all, cut their hair, and their hair looks a hot mess. So that is another thing. If you're a new hairstylist, trust me, and you're just coming out of hair school, please just be willing to learn, have an open mind. Even if you're around people that think they know it all, just be nice to them and just pretend like, they're like the best thing since sliced bread, so you can learn whatever you have to learn and just move on and get good at it. Because a lot of people will count you out when you're first coming out of hair school, and they'll like, because this person has 10 years of experience and this person has 3 years of experience, they think they're the best, which is not true. Because I've seen hairstylists who claim that have been cutting for 10 years, 20 years, and they cut like crap. Okay, it's like, OMG, like, where have you been cutting all these bad haircuts all these years? Like, who's told you that this looks good? Because I see this all the time. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I've only been cutting hair like 2-3 years, and my haircuts look way better than theirs. Why? Not because I'm so much better, but just because I just always wanted to learn. I always ask for help. I'm not gonna just be prideful, do a bad haircut, and then send that client out the door. I'd rather ask for help. I'd rather be vulnerable in front of my client. I don't care what anyone thinks, and I'd rather just learn to get it right, so I could keep practicing and keep practicing, and then before you know it, I'll be better than the next person. So yes, if you're a new hairstylist, please, please, please don't think you know it all. And even if you've been cutting hair for 10, 20 years, however much, you never know it all. There's, everything is always changing. There's always new techniques coming out. I mean, as far as the basic rules, they're always going to be the same. But as far as like techniques, being more efficient, there's always new things coming out. So please just always have a willingness and a heart to learn. I'd really love for this rock star mentality attitude of just hairstylists just thinking they're the best and it's about them, and they know what's best. That's a really horrible way to be a hairstylist and have that kind of rock star mentality, because truth be told, we are not rock stars. The clients are rock stars, because the client is the one who pays us to do our passion, to do what it is that we love to do. They're the ones that support our dreams, help us to pay our bills, help us to do things for our family, buy houses, buy a car, pay off credit, pay off student loans. They are the true rock stars. And I really feel like if every hairstylist would create this kind of mindset and mentality, that a lot of this kind of selfish attitude that certain hairstylists have, would definitely start to like go away if we always think about someone else before us, if we always think about the client first. Another, big thing is to just be willing to make mistakes. Even me, as long as I've been doing hair, I've been cutting hair for quite a while now, and I would say that I'm pretty good at it. Like I said, I'm always learning, and I don't think I'm perfect, but I'm pretty good at it. And so this next chapter in my life is like, okay, now I'm working for myself. Now I can concentrate and focus on hair color. So, I know the basic rules of hair color. I know about hair light and demi semis, but it's another thing to actually put into practice. So don't be afraid of hair color. I think everyone should be doing hair color. Everyone should be practicing different haircuts. And I actually made a mistake with a client maybe a few months ago. I was doing balayage, and I just forgot this one particular step in the balayage thing, and when I finished, to me, I didn't like it, and I was blowing out the client's hair, and I just saw where there was a little bit of bleeding. I saw where it didn't look like how I know it's supposed to look. And so I didn't charge her, I only charged her for a haircut. Now granted, she absolutely loved it, like she was fine with it. But we know that when clients go home, or when we get our hair, we go home, they're like all in their hair, they're combing through, they're looking at the work, looking how good of a job you did or how bad of a job you did. And I just never want to put on a front or pretend, knowing that I made a mistake, knowing that I did something, and I try to hide it with the client, and I don't tell them. It's one thing to make a little mistake and the client never knows, but it's one thing to make a mistake and it's like, okay, when this client gets home, she's gonna see it, and you just send her home hoping that she doesn't say nothing. Because if that ever happens, that client is not gonna come back to you. That client is gonna lose your trust, which brings me to my next point, that when you are a hairstylist, when you're looking for yourself, trust is so important between you and the client. Listening skills, everybody wants to focus on technique and skill and tools, which is a very vital, important part in the hair industry. But also, there's not a lot of talking about things that you can't, that are not tangible, as far as like being a good listener. Being a good listener is so important. Even if the client keeps repeating themselves, keeps going round and about circles, or not really answering your question, that's just your job as a professional. If they're not answering the questions you need to answer, you just need to keep asking more questions until you find out what it is that the client wants to achieve. So having a good consultation is so important. And then educating the client on what they're asking for. Now, if a client is telling me, they want this hairstyle, and they're asking my opinion, does this look good, based on their hair, the thickness of their hair, how they wear it, are they a low maintenance person, are they a high maintenance person, maybe they were low maintenance, but maybe they're going through a phase in their life where they're ready to do more with their hair, and maybe they're willing to put more extra work in there. So just never keep your client stuck in a box. Just because your client comes to you and they've been getting the same haircut for a certain amount of time, don't ever not give them the opportunity to change, which is, I try to make sure I let my clients know, hey, I know that we normally do this style for you. I know that we normally cut your hair this way for you, but don't ever think that I won't. If you want to come to me with a different style, if you want to do something different, I'm definitely open to do this for you. Just because you've been doing it this way doesn't mean that you have to continue this way. I'm here to help you, whatever it is you need to do. So yes, consultation, earning that trust. If your client only wants an inch off, only take an inch off. Say a client comes in and their hair is like really split, it's really horrible, and they know it's bad. They're like, oh, I know my ends are bad, but I only want an inch off. Only take an inch off. As a professional, you can let them know, hey, I know we're only taking an inch off today. I do want to show you your hair, show you the split ends, show you how much needs to come off. But at the end of the day, when it's all over, I'm only going to take off what you tell me to take off. Because 9 times out of 10, when a client comes to you for a haircut or a trim, it's not about you being the best stylist. It's not about you cutting their hair into a style. It's about seeing if you can listen and see if they can trust you. I hear that so much from clients that, when they first come to me, after I'm finished and they love their hair, they're like, oh my gosh, Amber, I'm so glad you cut my hair today. And, next time I'll come back, maybe we could do something different. Now that I trust you, I can come to you for other stuff. Trust me. The first initial appointment with a person who's getting their hair cut, it's about trust, because 9 times out of 10 that client has been to other hairstylists, they didn't listen, they wanted an inch off, you end up giving them a bob, or they wanted 5 inches off and you only took 1 inch off. Listen to the client. It doesn't matter if their hair is trash and they need to take more. It doesn't matter. It's about them. It's not about us. Okay, so they just want to know that you have the ability to listen to them and follow directions, okay? So that is another so important thing. Trust me, you will be in high demand if you can listen to a client and give them what they ask for. Then once they build that trust with you, then they're going to start asking you for this and asking you for that, and say, hey, Amber, what do you think about this hairstyle? Because they trust you. They know that you're always going to put them first. You're always going to look out for their best interest, and at the end of the day, you're not going to do what you want to do. Okay, so as a hairstylist, I think it's so important to not be, if all you do is extensions, I'm not telling you to stop doing extensions, but try color, try introducing your clients to like different haircuts, different bobs, don't be afraid of those short styles. If you are afraid, just go learn, go to a hairstylist who does short hair all the time and say, hey girl, I know that you're so good at short hairstyles, and I would just love to come to you and just watch and see how you do your short hair. Or, hey girl, I know that you do color a lot, and I really want to get into this because I know that will up my game so much, and I want to watch you do color. Like, just be a humble hairstylist, because people will love you when you're humble. People will absolutely flock to you, tip you really good. I mean, there's some clients who don't care how good you are or how good you listen. They're not going to tip. They're only going to pay you with the services, and that's it. But there are clients who will just, oh my gosh, fall in love with you. They'll tell everybody to come to you, like, this girl is good, you know, you can trust her with your hair, she's not going to cut too much off. That is so important. So yes, I just hope I'm not all over the place. I know I touched on different things, but just as a good hairstylist, a good hair salon owner, don't be afraid of different hair textures in yours. You know, if you're a Caucasian hairstylist, don't be afraid of black hair. If you are a black hairstylist, don't be afraid of white hair. It is just so important to be just good across the board, so you can go anywhere, in any location, in any part of the world, and do hair, because hair is hair, cutting hair is hair. It's all the same. It's the same rules. Maybe the way you go about it might be a little different, but it's all the same, okay? So if you are that hairstylist that's intimidated by someone with a different hair texture than you, run to the fear, okay? That has been me all the time. You know, people have come to me and they're like, Amber, I want you to do this. And I'm like, whoa, you trust me with that on your hair and you haven't met me from Adam and Eve? Yes. And so just embrace challenges. You know, because I love to cut hair so much, I never like to be defeated by any kind of haircut. I always, if someone shows me a haircut, you know, I want to be able to do it, unless it's like too far there, like a box, like a perfect box, like a kid would play. You know, I'm not good at that. You know, I cut men's hair, but you know, I wouldn't even practice with that. So I would tell a stylist, hey, I'm not your girl for that. Or if it's extensions and I know I'm horrible at it, I'm like, girl, you do not want me to sew in no hair for you. You know what I'm saying? If it's a wig and you want me to customize it, I'm there for you. But you don't want extensions from me, okay? But hair color, everybody can learn hair color. It's a base. It's a thing that everyone has to learn in hair school. You know, as far as like cutting hair, everybody needs to be able to cut hair, because hair color and hair cutting is your bread and butter. You do a banging haircut, and then you do the hair color on top of the haircut to emphasize all the layering, the techniques that you did. Girl, you will have a good hair career. And I just noticed that my body doesn't hurt as much, you know, from working at these chop shops and working at these high volume places where all you do is cut hair. When you start doing hair color, it kind of like takes the tension off of you, and you can charge more. You know, you can make anywhere from $80 to $200 on a hair color service, okay? So I just really want hairstylists to just be very diverse, to never be afraid of, you know, someone with a different hair texture than yours. You know, my family is pretty diverse. I have sisters with all different types of hair, because, you know, I have a stepmom who's Panamanian, I have a sister who's Panamanian and Indian. You know, me and my sister are black. It's just, our family is just really mixed, okay? So I have all different types of hair textures. So I've been blessed to have the opportunity to practice on them, to be introduced to them, and you just never want to limit yourself. You want anyone to be able to come in with any type of texture of hair, and you definitely want to be knowledgeable. So I just challenge you guys as a hairstylist to go out there, learn everything you can about all texture hairs, and just don't run from the challenge of things that are different from you or what you're used to. You know, definitely step out of your comfort zone. There's no, what do they say? There's no comfort in the comfort zone. Yes, so my thing is, advice to you is just to really just challenge yourself. Just really just learn all you can about all different hair types, and just be a good listener. Make sure that you're educating your client and you know, of how they need to take care of their hair with certain styles, with certain color, or if they need to use a certain product with their hairstyle. Just make sure that you are educating them on that. And yes, so this video has gone over time. I hope that I have said something to encourage you guys. You know, when you open your loft, just make sure that you are being diverse as you can, that you're a diverse hairstylist, that you are not turning away those clients because you're scared of their texture hair, that you are embracing it. And if you don't know and you're scared, just go out and make sure you learn, okay? If you if you're a white hairstylist and you want to learn how to do blowouts, you want to learn how to do a banging blowout, you know, go learn it. And I'll leave a link at the bottom of this video of where you can go to learn how to do a good blowout. If you are a black hairstylist and you want to learn how to do a good blowout, you know, everybody needs to learn the basics, because you just never want to limit yourself. as a hairstylist. You just want to be so versatile, so diverse, and it's so funny because I actually had a client come to me. She was white, and she was just amazed that I know how to do her texture hair. She was just, I guess where she come from, like she was like, well, I've never had my hair done by a black person before. And I'm just like, well, you know, this is the area I live in, Chapel Hill, is predominantly white, so I've always done, you know, white people's hair. Like, I'm used to it. Like, to me, it's all hair. Like, my brother-in-law is white, and he has a diverse clientele. He has a lot of black clients, and you know, people treat him the same way. And I guess just what we want people to know is that hair is hair. We all can learn it, and we all can learn all the different textures. And just because, you know, if I'm white, that doesn't mean I have to do white hair, or if I'm black, that doesn't mean I have to do black hair. Okay, the more diverse you are, the more money that you can make. You know, my brother-in-law has Puerto Rican clients, black clients, white clients. He knows about relaxers, he knows about oil sheen, he knows about all of that, and people are just amazed. And if it wasn't for them seeing his work, they would not even believe him. And the same with me too. You know, as a black hairstylist, and you know, have all these white clientele, they're like, oh my god, she's black and she can do my hair just as good as any white hairstylist. So it's not about a black or white thing. It's just about a great hair, learning everything there is to know about all different textures of hair. Okay, sorry this video was long, but that's just something that has bothered me as a black hairstylist, being that I do have black and white clientele, and I have mostly white clientele, and I just want to get that stigmatism out of the room, that just because you're black, that doesn't mean you only know hair extensions, because I think that's the thing, that if you're black, you automatically do weave, which is not true. And you know, and I just want to get that out, that if you're white, that you don't know how to good blowout, because I've seen some white girls, some white guys that can give you a banging blowout. Okay, and if you're a female, that you can't cut men's hair, because I am busting all those stereotypes. And as a good hairstylist, I want you to bust all those good stereotypes, and I just want you to be the best that you can be. All right, well, let me know what you think about this video. Comment, let me know what else you want to see, or if you've ever had this happen to you before, or someone to stereotype you as a hairstylist and put you in a box. Because you know, we're so creative as fashion, makeup, hair is all comes together to express, you know, ourselves, because we're creatives, you know, and we should be able to express ourselves in all different types of texture of hair. And we should just all be knowledgeable of anyone who comes in the salon, and we should be able to do their hair with like just like we do any other person's hair. Like, we shouldn't turn them away just because we're fearful and scared of their texture hair. All right, guys, I love you guys. I hope you guys have a great week. Continue to never give up, keep going, and just be fearless, and just run to things that make you uncomfortable. All right, well, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.